Hi. Thank you so much for your interest in this Business Excel for Finance course. My name is Sobish. I'm your course mentor. So you may have so many questions about this course in your mind. First of all, is it really worth investing in this Excel course? There are so many free and paid resources available to learn Excel. There are YouTube videos, Instagram content, paid courses, free courses. Then why should I really invest in this course, right? That's the first question to solve. So, how this course is different from other online free and paid Excel courses. So I'm going to explain you everything about this course in the next few minutes so that you have a fair idea about why this course is different and whether this course can actually add value to you, right? So you make an informed decision once you understand the course content and all the other details. All right, so let us get started. First of all, the course portal overview. So once you purchase the course, you will get access to the course portal. So I'll show you what is inside the course portal. So this is how the course portal content will look like. So you have a course introduction video, some guidelines before you start, your project walkthrough, because you will be working on a real world project in this course. So there'll be a walkthrough to help you understand the project. And then you can download all the project files here. And then there is a session to introduce Excel to you, very basic. For the beginners, okay? And then you start with the challenges. You start with text function challenges. So this help you to learn all the text functions in Excel. Then you have date function challenges. You will be solving different date function problems. And then you have number function challenges. You have lookup function challenges. And you have logical function challenges. And then you will learn how to summarize your data, okay? And then you will prepare a report, budget versus actual, IT project financial report. You will prepare that report. So you start with reporting introduction, why to use functions. So it is very, very practical how to approach the reporting. And then after reporting, you have the headcount status dashboard. You will build a dashboard, and then you will build a dynamic dashboard. And then you will move on to Excel finance modules where you will be building the income statement, vertical analysis, horizontal analysis, trend analysis, OPEX, budget versus actual analysis, and so on. So this is the course module that you will be getting access to. Course portal you will be getting access to, okay? So for each module, there'll be video that you can watch. So there'll be video. So for example, it starts with a problem. The video will start with a problem. For example, here, categorize more than 500 conveyance charges as approval required. This is the problem. Then I will explain to you how to solve that problem. Okay. So this is the course portal overview. The next is the data set overview. What is the data set that you will be working with in this Excel course, right? See, for most Excel courses will teach you Excel using a master data set or a very simple data set. But in real world, you will be working with multiple data sets, especially in reporting analyst roles or FP&A roles. You need to work with multiple data sets like budget, actuals, lookup tables, and so on. So that is why in this Excel course, you will be working on a project, and you will be working with various different data sets like an employee master data, project data, budget data, conveyance actual and budget, other expenses actual and budget, revenue actual and budget, locations, managers. So you will be working with the different data sets to get practical exposure. And once you start working with multiple different data sets, you will not struggle at workplace to solve real problems. You learn how to get data from different data sets, how to consolidate the data, how to analyze the data, how to connect the data together. So that is why we are using multiple data sets in this course. Now, the other reason this course is different from other courses is this is 100% problem-solving focused learning. Okay, so Excel we cannot master just by watching videos. We need to solve real-world problems. Right? So that is why in this course, right from video 1 or lesson 1, you will be solving problems. So let me show you the course portal. So if you go to the course portal, for example, if you look at the text challenges, right? The problem number 1 is join text, create a full name column. So the video will start with a problem. So now what is the problem? So the problem, let's say the first problem in this video is join first name and last name with a space. Okay. So we are referring to the employee file. So you understand once you watch the video which file we are referring to and all that. So if you look at the employee file, okay, so here you have the first name and last name, right? So your first problem, which is a very basic problem, is to create a full name column by joining first name and last name. So how do you do that? So you create a full name column, and then you start with equal to, because the functions should start with the formulas and functions should start with an equal sign. So you select the first name, and then you join the first name with an and sign or an ampersand, and then you select the last name. Okay. So now first name and last name. So we have joined the first name and last name. Now the problem is there is no space between the first name and last name. So how do we insert a space? So to insert a space after the first name, we need to insert a space, right? So we should put that space in double quote. So double quote space double quote. Now we have inserted a space after the first name. Now this space we need to join with the last name. So we should use another ampersand or an and sign. So we are done. So we created the first name. So we solved the first problem. Similarly, if you go to the other problems, we created the first name and last name. Second is change full name to proper case, and then combine text, join, and proper function together. So now you have to combine multiple functions together. Then next, extract employee ID using location code. What is the total count of employee location for location 188? For example, if you look at the Excel file here, you have an employee ID here, and the last 3 digits are location ID. 177 is a location ID. So the question is, or the problem is, I want you to extract the last 3 digits to a separate column. So what you do, so you create a separate column and name it location ID, right? Now, to extract this from the right, basically the location ID is on the right side of this text, right? So in Excel, we want to extract characters from the right side. We use a function called write. Right? So write function and open bracket, and then write function will ask you what is the text. So we will select this text, and then comma, write function will ask you how many characters you want to extract. So we say I want to extract 3 characters. Now you get the location code. So similarly, the next problem is, now we extracted the problem, right? Now the next problem is extract employee ID excluding the location code. So we need to extract the employee ID. So employee ID is where employee ID is on the left side, right? Employee ID here. Employee ID is on the left side. So from the left side, we should extract, right? So to extract from the left side, we use the left function, and then we select employee ID. And how many characters we want to extract? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters, comma, 6. So we extracted. But now here there is a problem. So some employee IDs are 6 characters. Some are, if you look at here, some employee IDs are 7 characters. Now how do we solve this problem? So we should extract dynamically. So that is what you will be learning, right? So this is how you will learn Excel in this Excel course. So once you solve text functions challenges, then we move on to date function problems. In date function problem, again, all these are problems. I'm not going to explain you this is how you will use it. I'm going to give you a problem, and I'm going to show you how to solve the problems. For example, I'm going to ask you how many employees joined in Q1 2023, right? So if you look at the employee data, here you have the first name, last name, and their joining date, right? So if you want to find out how many people joined in first quarter 2023, so what you need to do is you need a quarter column, right? You need a quarter column. So for the quarter column, you first need to find out the month. You can use month inside a quarter, but let me show you how to find out the month first. So how do we solve this problem? First, I want to find out the month of this particular date. So to find out the month, I will use a month function, open bracket. And if I select this joining date, I will get the month. So what is the month here? This is April month, right? This is 16th April. So April is the month number 4. So you get the month, right? So what did we use? Month, open bracket, joining date. Now from the month, if I want to find out quarter, what I need to do is I need to divide the month by 3. And then after dividing the month by 3, what I need to do is I need to round up, use the roundup function. And then after 3, I need to say comma 0. So now we have calculated the quarter. So April is what? Second quarter. January, February, March is first quarter. April, May, June is second quarter. So now we have calculated the month. Now you know how many people have joined in the second quarter. You can simply filter this and then find out how many people have joined in second quarter, right? If you want to find out for a particular year, along with the month, you can also calculate the year column, and then you can filter, right? So this is how we start solving the problems, right? So every Excel video is a problem, and you will start solving. So similarly, number functions, you will be asked to solve problems like what is the quarterly plan hours for each year? What is the total conveyance charges for 2022? What is the Q1 23 conveyance total? And then coming to lookup functions, this is where you will learn VLOOKUP, index and match, XLOOKUP with the wildcard, XLOOKUP with the multiple criteria. You will master the lookup functions at the end of this module, okay? So for example, you solve problems like what is the total employee count under manager giant again. Okay, so that is basically a simple lookup. Okay, for example, you have a manager table here. Yeah, so here you have the list of managers, right? So now the question is how many people are working under the manager giant again, right? So now if you look at here, you have the employee data. So here what you need to do is you need to get the manager name from the manager file. So where is manager name sitting? The manager names are sitting in another file, manager file, right? Here. So how do we bring the manager name from this file to the employee file, so that you know how many people are working under a particular manager? So that for that we will use VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP. But some cases the problems will not be straightforward. For example, if you look at the next problem, how many employees are working under leader Deepesh Jain? So here the problem is how many people are working under project Deepesh Jain, right? Under project leader Deepesh Jain. So now here you have the employees here. You don't have the project leader name here. right? So now you don't have the project leader name here, but you can get the project leader name from the project file. So here you have, for each project, you have the project leader, and for each project ID is here. So now what you need to do, you need to get the project leader name based on the project ID. But the problem here is, it is not a straightforward problem, because in your employee file, your project ID is showing like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? But here in project file, the ID is PID 001, PID 002. So in this case, how do we first transform the data before we can do an XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, or index and match? So we need to do multiple transformations before we can apply the XLOOKUP. So this is how the real problems comes, or real problem we face at the workplace. It is not like actually we are going to get straightforward problems at the workplace. We need to really think through the problems, define the problem, and then see what is the best solution to solve it. And that is exactly how you are learning the problem solving in this Excel course, to build strong problem solving and logical thinking skills. Okay, so once you solve these problems, then we move on to solve logical functions problems. So logical functions problems, you learn how to use if switch functions, right? And once you master this logical functions problem, you will not be struggling with Excel formulas and functions again. So let me show you some of the problems that you will be solving. Like you will be able to build formulas like this. For example, I'll be giving you questions like, okay, what is the 2H forecast if the data center cost and project PID 001 increases by 3%? What will be the cost? And licensing fee and PID 002 will be increased by 4%. So this is how actually, in FP&A reporting analyst roles, you'll be solving the problems, right? You'll be facing the problems. And how do we solve the problem? So you will be building formulas like this using if conditions, right? So you will be mastering ifs, multiple ifs, nested ifs, right, at the end of this module. So, and that is why I can confidently say that once you complete these problems, you will never struggle with Excel again, right? You will be able to solve complex Excel problems with confidence, right? You will build exceptionally good logical thinking and problem solving skills when you solve all these problems one by one, right? So once you complete that, then we'll go to pivot tables, where you will not be learning the basic pivot tables. You will learn how to solve problems using pivot tables. Like you will use pivot table to analyze what is the 2H22 versus 1H23 other expenses cost, what is the variance in amount and variance in percentage between 1H and 1H 2023, right? So you will be solving again problems, and once you complete that, then you will be moving to reporting, where you will be working with all these data sets to build a budget versus actual variance analysis report. So it will start with the requirement analysis, and then you will be solving problems one by one. For example, in report 2, I want to see an analysis on revenue cost GP plan versus actual for 2023 from January to June. I want to be able to filter the report by project ID and also view for all project IDs. I want to see the total by month. So this is how the requirements you will be working on in this course. Okay, so then you will be building reports like, let me show you. You will be working on report like this, where you will be showing plan view, actual view, and variances, and you will be able to build the report to show the variances for each project ID here, so individual project ID here, and you will be able to also filter all project IDs and then show the variances. So this is how you will be building reports in this course, and you will be getting the data from different sources, and then you will be consolidating the data. And once you consolidate the data, you will also understand how do you look at the MIS reporting requirements, right from gathering requirements, analyzing the requirements, and review and sign off until you format and design the report. So this is a very advanced level course that will teach you the real world MIS reporting. Okay, so once you master that, then next is basically, once you master this reporting, the next is you will learn how to build the headcount dashboard, and then how do you approach dashboard? Okay, how do you analyze client requirements? What is the wireframe and why to create it? How to create pivot table summaries, and how do you create a storyboard? Why to create a storyboard? Which chart to choose when? So at a very practical and very advanced dashboard creation skills you will be learning, and then you will be learning Excel dynamic dashboard. So when you build user access control to dashboard, you will be working on client requirements like this, like headcount dashboard requirements, what is the travel spend dashboard requirements, what is the access control requirements, and you'll be building dashboard likes that works using a user ID and password. There is absolutely no coding. This is all techniques used using functions and formulas. Okay, so suppose if the user is entering actually an incorrect password, okay, so then it shows password error, and if it's a password error, the user will not be able to view any projects here, right? So if the user is not able to view any project, then when the user goes to the dashboard will be completely blank. The user will not be able to view anything, and it says login error, please enter correct login details, and then the user needs to go back and then make sure that enter the correct user ID, and then access granted, please select your project. Once the access is granted, then the user can select the project from the menu. And then once the project is selected, then the user can go to the headcount dashboard, and then the dashboard will be displayed. So here the user will be able to view the dashboards. So here, suppose actually you have 20 different managers or 10 different managers, and you want to make sure that you customize the dashboard for each manager, and the manager is able to only view his or her own dashboard. You can this will be very, very helpful. So these are the kind of advanced topics you will be learning in this course. Okay. So now once you complete that, then you will be moving to the finance module. So when you learn the finance module, you will be working with the chart of accounts data, your GL data, OPEX budget data, sales data, and then you will group the GL. And I'll explain you why you are grouping, and then you will consolidate your data, and then you start building your income statement, and then you will learn how to the different approaches to analyze your numbers, like a vertical analysis, horizontal analysis. You will build trend analysis, and then you will do a OPEX budget versus actual to identify the variance between your budget and actual cost. And then you will learn how do you use Excel's forecast functions to build your 2025 forecast, and then you will learn how do you better manage your forecast and how do you build the different scenarios, right? For example, for the base forecast, if the CFO wants to see different scenarios, like scenario 1, what is going to be the EBITDA, scenario 2, what is going to be the EBITDA percentage, which scenario to go, what is the worst case, best case, actually, no. So you will be able to build this, and then you will learn sensitivity analysis, what if analysis, you will learn solver, and then you will learn how do you build a P&L KPI dashboard. So a course covers everything end to end here, right? So you learn right from Excel basics to very advanced topics, covering everything end to end in a very practical way, and using a problem solving focused approach and a project based learning approach. Now, let me tell you, you are not the first one to enroll in this course. There are 165 people already enrolled within 1 month. So if you look at here, see, this is the Excel course, and there are already now 170 people already joined. Okay, so you are not the first one to join. And the next thing I want to say is, it is the same Excel course I also teach people offline. There are people who are experienced working professionals, who are qualified professionals, learn the same Excel course. Okay, so this is the same Excel course that I have created for everyone, including my offline students. All right. And another thing, this is an advanced level training. Okay, so definitely you will have questions, and I don't want to leave you in blank once you purchase this course. You will have questions. So what you can do is, you can, once you purchase this course, if you have questions, we have weekly connects. We are going to connect at least initially weekly twice, and you will be getting the details about the schedule, and you will be also added to the community. Okay, so there'll be live connects to clarify your questions, which most Excel courses, online Excel courses may not be providing, right? So you are going to get live connects. Okay, so now right now the price is very, very affordable, but let me be very honest, this price is going to be for a very limited period, and the price can change anytime soon. Okay, so we are continuously upgrading this course. There'll be new scenarios added, new problems added, new modules added, and you are not going to pay any extra price for additional modules once you are part of the shop's Excel Mastery course. All right, so if you have any questions, how do you contact, where do you contact? So this is my office address, and you also have my LinkedIn address ID here, and you can note down this number 6282 557744 is my WhatsApp number, as well as my office phone number. So what you need to do is, there'll be a link to buy this course. If you are in the online course portal, you will be able to find buy now button on the bottom of the screen, or you have the link which you can use to log into the portal and purchase. And once you complete the purchase, what you need to do, you will be receiving your email ID and password from the office, and then using the email ID and password, you need to log into the portal. And once you log into the portal, you will be able to access the course. All right, so that's a brief overview about the course. Now, I hope you understood now what is covered and why this course is different from other Excel courses that will just teach you Excel features and functionality, but the entire focus of this course is to make you problem-solving experts at work. And that is why I can confidently once again say that once you complete all the problems in this course, you will never struggle with Excel, and you will be one of the top Excel experts, wherever you are. All right. So thanks a lot for your time, and I'll see you inside. Thank you so much.